Hello Tacticians. In today's video, I'll be prepping lineups for Season 21, seeing as we're about a week out from it now. Since last season, I've unlocked the following characters: Lucius the Eternal and Saint Celestine, both of which are PvP monsters. One of the ongoing resources that I have available, besides Tacticus Tracker, I've been keeping a running tier list of every character, as well as MOW, since Season 16. I won't be doing a breakdown of that list right now, since last season was my final season for taking data on it, but this is a quick scroll through of that compiled data. Keep in mind that this is from 5 seasons at Battlefield 1. These are all based on token averages, so obviously the higher the better. After this, I'll be letting go of my spreadsheets and embracing Tacticus Tracker. So, keeping these resources in mind, let's run through the possibilities. My first squad from last season, Deathball plus Chiron. Last season, 3.0 average, and was the MVP. We're gonna go ahead and keep this, no changes, no notes. Second squad is Taunt, last season average, 2.2. Boss G, Snotflaga, Ascor, Haskell, Shosel. Shosel's damage took a bit of a hit from a couple patches ago, so I'm willing to swap out once a viable range nuker becomes apparent. And once we get another AoE taunter, I'm willing to drop Boss G as well to test that. Since I did get Celestine, she could be a decent frontline tank for any Revis counterplays, but for now we're just going to leave Boss G in there. Third squad is Slapback Isabel. Last season, 1.83. Not exactly thrilled about that average. I was expecting a little bit more from Isabella and the Banana Boys. They should be bringing in the moolah. Where's the moolah?
Show me the money! Show me the money!
I'm actually going to yoink out Sarkill and replace him with Ulf. There's nothing wrong with Sark. I haven't run Ulf before, but I do know that Ulf is a slapback beast, especially if the enemy decides to run GSC. Will this beat GSC? I've actually kind of got an answer for this question, but we'll address that later. The fourth squad is Balder Swarm, last season 1.75. I'm dropping this lineup. Now that I look at it, it's a Temu GSC squad. I could have just run a straight GSC squad here, and I think I will. I don't have Pat. I heard that he's a paper tiger anyway, so I'm just going to throw Lucius in there for that 5th spot. I'm sure he'll work beautifully with that res crew. And finally, 5th squad is Farsight Mech, last season 1.75. In my opinion, Mech is too squishy for defense. If we look at the top 2 PvP factions, GSC and DG, you either have a shit ton of summons with res abilities, or you have a shit ton of tanky mofos with a Chaos Reser. Incisors is kinda close in design to Rapone. Can we mirror a DG comp? Celestine, Brachial, Titus, Sarkel, Incisors. Will it work? Alright, so we've arrived to the point where we can try to answer that question. You may have seen that I'm using the sandbox to run a contest called the Blood Games. I'm also using it to run a test which I'm dubbing the Gauntlet. Here's how the Gauntlet works. I run the squad up against the top 5 squads in the game and keep score. Each squad will fight 10 times against each heavyweight. 10 times versus Admech, GSC, Death Guard, Blood Angels, and finally Orcs. For scoring, 1 point for kills, -1 point for deaths, and 5 extra points for wins. A perfect score is 500. After running the Gauntlet on my teams, here's the results. So, taking this footage was actually a big undertaking. It consisted of about 53 gigabytes worth of footage, so I hope I never have to do this again. In total, that was 250 battles that I recorded. Thankfully, I'm just pulling data right up before the load screen, just to check who's alive and who's dead, so I'm not watching every second. In contrast, the Blood Games won't be so bad. It's about 4 games to sweep over 15 matches total, so that's like 60 games right there at a bare minimum. As you can see here, GSC is far and away the strongest comp, pulling in 400 out of a 500 possible points. As for Deathball, I am at a loss for words. We'll check back on these in a debrief after Season 21 wraps. If there's no correlation, then there might not be a point in keeping this stat. These scores are more so an overall toughness test and won't really matter in the end because of so many factors: human versus AI, hard counters, choke points, and more. Eventually, I will have Gauntlet test scores on the most common lineups, and we'll probably end up seeing how much things rank up. I'd be willing to bet GSC will rise to the top, but that shouldn't really surprise anyone, right? Anyways, that's it for my Season 21 lineups. What are you guys running for Guild War? Let us know in the Discord in the doodad below. We already have old rivals running into one another in the chat, which is pretty fucking awesome to see. The more the merrier. If you like my content, please like and subscribe. Keep in mind, every 1,000 subs will net you guys a code on Tacticus. So let your War Masters and guildmates know. Help me help you. If you really like my content, check out my Patreon, also linked below. Thank you to my patrons for your continued support. Keep growing, keep strategizing, and as always, GG!